What's up, everyone, and welcome to ClearTalk. So in this video, we're going to be talking about the big thing for this past weekend, man. It was huge. It was massive. Drew in crowds like crazy all over the world. The film Melania. Yeah, this film Melania. We're going to be talking about that in this. I normally I like to do the fun stuff at the end of the day and do more, but I thought, I need to wake up and like really get going here. So let's have a little fun right off the bat. So we're going to talk about Melania, and I'm literally going to go through this because I've already read through the entire thing, and it gives a lot of information. We're just going to go straight with the Wikipedia page. I'm just giving you the like right off the bat. This is what we're going to do, and because it goes into a lot of stuff that I didn't even know, even what I had already heard about. It gave even more information that I did not even know. So we're going to go over that and talk about it. So thank you very much. Welcome to ClearTalk. If you are new here, if you'd like to check out more from the channel, please do so. Consider subscribing, like, share, comment, all that good stuff to get more videos from more people. And if you would like to check out other channels of mine, there's JMD there, Play, Puzzling. If you like what you see there, consider subscribing to those as well. Like, share, comment, all on those as well. Commenting is huge. It's the big thing. It's kind of like, please comment. I don't care if it's good, bad, whatever, anywhere in between, about this video or about something else. It doesn't matter. Just talk to me. That's what this is about. Patreon there, $3 a month. You can support any of the channels that you would like, or to support to grow those channels, or grow Patreon, grow JMD Nation, and contribute however you would like. Any contribution or support you give is very much appreciated, and I thank you very much. And it helps keep this channel going, keep all these channels going. Keep doing what I really thoroughly enjoy doing, and that is talking to you and engaging with you. And if you're returning, you're freaking amazing. You are the shit, and welcome back. I'll tell you that every time. Because you are what makes Jim Nation. Okay, so here we go. Melania, the movie, the documentary movie about Melania. 20 days to history. 20 days to history. So this and that's something that I didn't quite, I guess, even really grasp when I first heard about this documentary, was that because I was thinking that this was something of like a sort of a, I don't know, like a bibliography of sorts or whatever, like her like her history and like a big in-depth thing that we would learn about Melania, the wife of the Donald Trump. His third wife anyways, or fourth wife, whatever the fuck it is. But no, this is just a documentary of literally, I guess, 20 days before Donald Trump became president for the second time. Like the follow-up to him becoming president, to him, like the inauguration, him actually being sworn in. It's not even really him becoming president, because, I mean, he'd already been voted in. So, and that's like what? Like, even this, just that alone, we're just talking about 20 days of pre-Donald Trump becoming inaugurated. And like I said, the follow-up in following Melania in that, like, what is the point? I don't understand the point whatsoever. And this is the highest production cost of a documentary to date. We're gonna look at this. Swap over here. All right. Here we go. Melania. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna blow this the freak up so you can see it better. There we go. Melania. All right. Melania is a 2026 American documentary film that follows Melania Trump, the First Lady of the United States, in the 20 days before her husband Donald Trump's second presidential inauguration. It is directed and produced by Brett Ratner. Brett Ratner? What? You know, that guy that had, sexual allegations and stuff in 2017. Yeah, that one. Because Donald Trump loves boosting all of these fucking criminals and sexual predators and everything. That's what he does. I mean, the Epstein files. Melania is Ratner's first film since sexual assault allegations were made against him in 2017. Development started shortly after the 2024 presidential election, and the project received bids from Amazon, Disney, Netflix, and Paramount Pictures. Amazon offer of $40 million. $40 million. The highest price ever paid for a documentary, also included a theatrical release and follow-up documentary series. Come on now. We're going to have a fucking series. This is going to continue. We're going to have Melania 2. Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, Part 4. I don't know. Trump retained editorial control and was heavily involved in the production. Melania was released in United States on January 30th. Oh my goodness. It received overwhelmingly negative reviews from critics and has been called by some a pro-Trump propaganda film. It has grossed $7.1 million on a $40 million production budget. $7.1 million is how much it grossed over the weekend. Worldwide. You'll see that in a minute. The idea of a documentary about Melania Trump, the wife of Donald Trump, was either pitched by her to Jeff Bezos during a dinner in Mar-a-Lago, or it was pitched to Mark Beckman, her senior advisor and manager after the 2024 presidential election. She signed on as an executive producer for a documentary about her days after the election. Days after the election? Yeah, days after the election. My bad. Trump said her impetus was a warm reception to her 2024 memoir. In January 2025, Amazon MGM Studios announced that Brett Ratner would direct a documentary about Trump. I'm assuming Melania Trump is what he means. What that means, because it's weird to just say Trump, because then you're thinking, Trump. But anyway, Fernando Silichin, whatever. He's a Argentine film and documentary maker. Argentina. That's an interesting one there. Was brought on as executive producer. Amazon, Disney, Netflix, Paramount bid for the rights. Disney offered $14 million, lost to Amazon for $40 million to the license and produce a follow-up documentary series. There's the highest price ever on a document. Ted Hope, who launched Amazon's film division and led it until 2020, stated that it was probably the most expensive documentary without music licensing. Trump said that she accepted Amazon's offer due to inclusion of a theatrical release. Melania earned $28 million from the film. $28 million. Hope questioned how the high price for the documentary could also be seen as a bribe. Jimmy Kimmel criticized the production as a $75 million bribe. Don Fox, who was acting director of the United States Office of Government Ethics, stated that the documentary seemed like it was meant to curry favor. Filming. Melania is Ratner's first film since numerous women accused him of sexual misconduct in 2017. Ratner was the only person considered for the job. Nobody else was considered? Nobody else was considered? We've got to have that sexual predator right there. That's what we got to have, that sexual misconduct guy. he needs we've got to get him boosted back up. It's just awful that he was accused of sexual conduct, and because I've been there before. I've been there before, and it sucks. Even though we know it happened, it sucks because it just it puts a bad stain on you. Bad stain, no good. We got to make it better. Numerous criticisms were made of Ratner's conduct during filming. Filming began in December 2024. The months of filming were done in Mar-a-Lago. Trump held editorial control over the film and was involved with the trailer color correction. I'm assuming still here this is Melania Trump. Involved with the trailer. I'm going to just assume that. Correct. Color correction, selection of music, and the advertising campaign, and designing the logo. Barry Peterson, Jeff Cronenweth, weird name, Dante Spinotti did the cinematography. Spinotti agreed to do the cinematography due to his prior work with Ratner on Red Dragon and X-Men The Last Stand, and was curious about Trump's administration. Some scenes involved up to 80 crew members, and there were 12 crews in Washington, D.C. during the inauguration. Amazon employees were told they could not opt out of working on Melania for political reasons. They could not opt if they were like, look, I don't agree with Melania or probably more so Trump. Like I don't agree. We don't have the same opinion, so I don't want to work on this film. They could not do that. 2/3 of the New York production crew asked to be omitted from the credits. 2/3 of the production crew staff asked to be omitted from the credits. Bro, they're like, look, I don't want no fucking association to this shit. That is wild. That is crazy. It's crazy. Soundtrack. An original score was composed by Tony Neiman, including the song Melania's Waltz. Licensed music from Aretha Franklin, Bonnie M., The Crystals, Elvis Presley, Giorgio, I think that's right, Marauder, James Brown, bro, Aretha Franklin was enough, Johnny Greenwood, Michael Jackson, The Rolling Stones, Sylvie Vartan, Tears for Fears, and The Village People was used. A trailer for Melania was released in December 17th. Ellen Von Unworth shot the poster photograph. On the 28th of January, Trump rang the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange before making brief remarks promoting the film. Donald Trump advertised the film on Truth Social, anticipating of its release. The marketing budget was reported to be $35 million, far higher than marketing for any other big budget documentary series, but the production has denied this figure. Of course they would deny that. RBG, for example, had a marketing budget of $3 million. That was in 2018. From December 22nd to January 23rd, Amazon spent $3.5 million on national linear TV ads. Over 461 million household impressions were estimated from network marketing, with the 4 highest reaching programs on Fox News. Promotions also included an event at the Sphere in Los Angeles. Melania was advertised on billboards and bus stops across Los Angeles, but they were defaced by Indiclins and others. The Los Angeles Metro rerouted buses with Melania ads to avoid vandalism. That is wild. That is wild. There's so much hatred for the Trump family, for Trump and anyone associated to him. But this is not just. I mean, so far we're just going over stuff from right here in the U.S. Wait till we get reception worldwide. Wait for that. Melania premiered at the Kennedy Center, and other screenings for friends and supporters were held across 20 cities. Amazon released it on January the 30th in 2,000 theaters domestically and 5,000 worldwide. A theatrical release was required as part of Amazon's studio purchase of the distribution rights. Melania is expected to be available for streaming 3 to 4 weeks after its theatrical debut. Film Nation Entertainment will distribute Melania in over 20 countries. Filmfinity canceled the South African release on January 28th. It will be released in over 100 cinemas in the United Kingdom. Prior to the premiere, a screening and dinner was held at the White House with 70 guests, including Queen Rania of Jordan, Tim Cook, Mike Hopkins, that's not him, Andy Jassy, American business executive who succeeding founder of Jeff Bezos, Lynn Martin, American market executive and program, Tony Robbins, American author, coach, and motivative speaker. Of course he is. Lisa Sue, American business executive. Oh, right. Mike Tyson. Dumbass. Eric Wan is a Chinese American billionaire. So, but bunch of rich motherfuckers. A makeshift theater was used as the usual screening room because the one that was in the, I think it was like in the corridor, has been just demolished along with the East Wing last year. A military band played Melania's Waltz, composed by Tony Neiman, as guests were greeted. Melania was review bombed on Letterboxd prior to its release. All the reviews were removed, which Letterboxd attributed to correcting an incorrect release date pulled from another movie database. Review bombing and reverse review bombing have been conducted on the audience score with review sites, or for review sites. Forbes reported that the film's IMDb user score fell to 1.1 out of 10 for around a day, making it the lowest rated film on the site, but it later rose to third lowest with a 1.3 by February the 2nd. Ouch. Box office, as the February 1st, Melania has grossed $7 million in the United States and Canada, and $78,002 in other territories, for a worldwide total of $7.1 million. And that's, I mean, maybe it's a little bit over 7 with that figure, but whatever. In the United States and Canada, Melania was released alongside Send Help, Shelter, and Iron Lung, and was projected to gross around $5 million from 1,500 theaters. The film made $2.9 million on its first day and earned $7 million in its opening weekend, finishing third place. It had the highest opening of a non-concert documentary since the 10.7 million opening of Chimpanzee in 2012. I'll get it out. Of its opening day audience, 49% identified as Republican, while only 2% identified as Democrat. 74% were Caucasian, 11 Hispanic, 4 Black, 4 Asian, 7 Native American or other. The audience was 72% female. Well, that's probably to be expected. In the days leading up to its release, the largest AMC theater in Boston reported that only one ticket was sold over 3 showtimes, while theaters were nearly sold out in ultra-conservative hubs such as Plano, Texas. A review of 1,398 showings on Fandango Media in 329 American theaters by Wired showed that only 2 screenings were sold out before the premiere. View International reported that most showings in the United Kingdom sold no tickets. There was a sold-out screening in Trump's native Slovenia. Among the 27 showings in 8 theaters in Mexico City, 15 of those had not sold any tickets, with an estimated 2.9 moviegoers per showing. Theater chain Hoyt's pre-sold fewer than 50 tickets for opening day screenings in Australia, and it grossed $32,000 over its opening weekend, ranking 33rd at the box office. On the review, I mean, that is. On the review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes, 7% of the 27 critics were positive, so we got a 7% on Rotten Tomatoes. Metacritic, which used a weighted average, assigned the film a score of 6 out of 10 based on 14 critics, indicating overwhelming dislike. Audiences polled by Cinescore gave this film an average of A, the audience, okay, while surveyed by PostTrack gave it the average 5 out of 5, with 89% saying they would definitely recommend it. Of course they would. Of course they would. In Owen Globerman's review for Variety, he called Melania a shameless infomercial and compared it to 1960s propaganda in China. Nick Hilton, writing for The Independent, compared Melania to The Birth of the Nation, 1915, The Triumph of the Wheel, 1935, and criticized the film as vapid and lacking information about Trump, which makes sense if it's only about the lead up to his inauguration. It's like you're calling the film Melania as if this is a film about Melania, but it's really not. It's just about the lead up, and I guess her preparations as becoming the first lady again. I don't know, like that. Like what? Joy Press wrote in her review of Vanity Fair that Ratner was an inferior propagandist to Leni Riefenstahl, a German filmmaker, photographer, and actress. She was considered one of the most controversial personalities in film history, regarded by many critics as an innovative filmmaker and creative, or whatever. William Thomas, writing for Empire, called Melania scripted reality and political propaganda. Zane Brooks, I guess that's all right, writing for The Guardian, criticized the slow pace and listless nature and considered Melania a gilded trash remake of The Zone of Interest. The lack of content and action was criticized by Sophie Gilbert in The Atlantic. Donald Clark said the film induced narcolepsy. That's kind of a weird thing to say. Kevin Fallon, written for The Daily Beast, criticized the lack of drama, over-dramatic direction, and odd music cues. Brian Trout for the USA Today criticized the emotional disconnect. He highlighted Trump's lack of personality, the fact that she never addresses the camera directly, and scenes in which she is unbothered while watching wildfires in California. William Bibbiani, I think that's how you say that, writing for The Warp, was critical of the lack of humanity shown as Trump focuses on her dead mother while footage of Jimmy Carter's funeral plays. I don't know. I don't know that. I guess I would have to see that particular scene because I kind of would get that, maybe. I don't know. Frank Sheik noted in The Hollywood Reporter with the musical choices including songs about murder, rape, and war. Give Me Shelter, False Sexual Allegations, Billie Jean, Sex, Valerio, Power and Ambition, Everybody Wants to Rule the World, and Male Domination, It's a Man's World. Lauren Collins of The New Yorker argued that the use of performance of American Grace by Aretha Franklin felt vaguely trolling due to its association with the civil rights movement and Barack Obama. industry response. Documentary filmmaker Kyle Henry stated that Melania was not a documentary and instead a campaign advertising and a bribe. Julie Cohan, co-director of RBG, and My Name is Polly Murray, criticized as having a no artistic or journalistic integrity due to Trump's editorial control and questioning the Amazon price that Amazon paid, which I do as well. Like, I mean, how that's got to be like crazy on Amazon's part to pay so much. I mean, the highest priced ever budget of a documentary. A documentary that is just quite literally 20 days before Trump's inauguration. Like, it doesn't even like cover really anything substantive about Melania. And I could understand it being like, coming off as just a propaganda for Trump, and not even Melania for that matter, for actual just Donald. Like, it doesn't make any sense why you would put so much money into this, knowing they've got to know the vitriol that most people have towards Trump at this point. Like, and to agree to a theatrically, I mean, unless this was Amazon's way of trolling the Trumps, which is a weird thing to do. Like knowing that you are going to lose money in this, but you still do it. Like, that's wild to me. That's wild if that is the case. But you know, to have this come but also agreeing to a full docuseries. It got horrible reviews from critics. One of the worst reviewed films of all time. Documentaries of all time. Yet it gets almost perfect audience score. I mean, because, you know, clearly we know what the majority of the movie, I mean, the documentary goers, the people who would go see this, we know what they're going to see this because they adore and love Trump. They're supporters. They're supporters of Melania. In the same. They view her as some strong woman. Why? I don't really understand, honestly. She's an immigrant that came here through her looks and like, damn, my mind's escaping me. The word that I'm looking for here. Getting the attention of Donald Trump. And I mean, one could question, that as being, something that we tend to all call marrying him, having access to all that, money and fame and whatever. I mean, like, there's nothing really that special about her, though. When you really think about it, the substance of, and maybe that's the reason why that You know, but it would have made more sense if you were going to make a film about someone and you're calling it by her name as if this is a film about her, but yet it's not even about her. I mean, not substantively, not about her history, not about where she came from, not about why she is where she is. It's just about the lead up to Trump's not like it doesn't even make sense on paper. This is a woman who has stood by her husband's side. You know, some question of whether it's regrettably, but with all the allegations as he's had, some of which, you know, he's even admitted to, like the cheating and everything. I mean, she has stood by his side and I guess you could say defended him, went along with everything that he's done so far in this administration alone. I mean, this woman is not, she's just as bad. And when you really think about it, she's just as bad as he is. Trump is all about making himself wealthy and powerful and trying to leave some kind of dramatic mark on the world before he leaves this world. And it's like she's just right there along with him on that. Even maybe to some degree thinking she can pull it off herself. This documentary, I mean, maybe being the first of that. It's like they're trying so hard, though. They're trying so hard to make her seem like she's something that she's not. And I'm sorry, but at this point, if you were someone who is still supporting this man and supporting you have completely lost the mark. You've completely lost credibility to any degree of your morals and like concern or care for the American people or the American experiment or like just people in general. This was a failure. This was an epic failure. And because I don't care what audiences give. As a matter of fact, I don't even really care what the critics give because the critics were being probably over critical, right? I mean, but maybe not, especially since, like I said, this is literally just a 20-day lead up to this is not even about her. It's literally like fake news. It's fucking fake news. It's fake documentary. It's exactly what Trump is. Fake. It's what she is. Fake. It's what the series will be. Fake. And I guess at this point that is exactly what his supporters want. Is fake. They want a false reality. They want a fantasy. And maybe that's because their life's so fucked up that they want to just fantasize about something better, and that something better apparently includes Trump and Melania and everybody associated to Trump. I don't know. I've completely lost the ability to understand at all anyone cognitively and like reasonably supporting and throwing all their eggs in the basket of Donald Trump. Like, I at this point, it's like, what's the point in even? There's no point in trying to understand them anymore. I mean, I'm sorry. My opinion is this is just a straight failure. You budgeted in $40 million. She got 20. You just made her even richer than what she already is. 28 million. 28 million for 20 days. That's more than $1 million a day. She and you grossed $7 million in the first opening weekend. And you know what? The fans and stuff, they will probably go and see it again this week, and they might even go and watch it multiple times just so they can make those numbers go up. All it's just going to literally be, though, just solely Trump fans going to watch this over and over and over again. But clearly, that's only here in the United States. Multiple avenues worldwide, no tickets sold. 78,000 outside the United States. There's no love for Trump outside of the United States. Anyway, but let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. That is just crazy. The only fucking director that you even considered is a sexual conduct allegation director. Like, I mean, it's like, oh my gosh. If you can't see that this Trump and his family, all they do is defend and like prop up people connected with all kinds of sexual shit and fraudulent shit. Like, it's sexual content and fraud. That's all they prop up. That's all they pardon. That's all they prop up. That's all they defend. And you as a supporter, that's what you want to defend? Is the defense of sexual allegations and fraud? That's what you, bro. That's what you're fucking defending. Because that's all the fuck they defend. It's crazy. It's crazy. Crazy. But let me know what you think. Until next time, peace. Clear Talk. I'm out.